Okay, this is a video response to It's Dale Stark. Um, yes, how really do I begin? How really do I begin? There's so much amazing stuff I could tell. I think 94 was actually the first official pay-per-view I ever ordered was a WCW one. WCW Halloween Havoc 94. Hogan versus Flair in the steel cage match. Um, and remember, back then, well, it's going to be in 2 years, it's 28 years now. But remember, back in the day, we didn't have the fancy gadgets we have now, the boxes and everything. We had to physically go to the cable company to rent the box. And it was like a bottom box, de-scrambler and all that, and you had the box and everything, and oh my god. I do remember that pretty much Survivor Series 94, I could not get it. I could not freaking make it work. And it pissed me off. Until WrestleMania 14, that was the first official WWF/WWE pay-per-view I've ever ordered. I'm saying this because I couldn't watch Survivor Series 94. But anyways, let's begin with the story. I was pretty much a young kid and all that. I love the WWF back in the day. And WCW, I can really watch it. Because I don't really think that we had WCW. I don't really remember where I found out about WCW and how and why I ordered WCW. I think it was mostly tapes. If I can remember. I don't even remember if they had tapes around where I live in WCW land and all that. But I do have a little collection of WCW tapes that I'm keeping in my collection. I have the entire Halloween Havoc, 89 to 2000. Yeah, 89 to 2000. All the pay-per-views and all that. A lot of them are bad, but there's some good, but there's a lot of bad. Yeah, okay. Pretty much, I would say like 7 years old and all that. Probably 88, 89. Probably earlier. I don't remember. But I do remember watching like Hogan and Warrior and Big Boss Man and stuff like that. Yeah, it was awesome back then. And I remember, I think it was like 1992, 93 and all that. I would say mostly 91, 92 before Raw. And yeah, I think it was on ABC back then, where I live, around 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. My dad used to work at a pizza shop and all that, and come like really late and all that. I was sitting in the living room watching WWF Superstars. It was so fun. It was so fun watching a lot of the stuff, and they have it on the WWE Network right now. It just really brings me back to me staying up really freaking late on a Saturday night. Could you imagine being 19 years old and all that and staying up really late just to watch wrestling? I don't know why the WWF was so late, but that's the one thing that marked me as a WWF fan for life and all that. I love All Elite Wrestling, but my God, I've lived from the Federation era to the New Generation era to the Attitude era to the Ruthless Aggression era to several other eras and all that. And let me tell you, the Federation era was awesome, but the New Generation did. I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest. Certainly 93, 94, 95 were terrible fucking years for WWF. Certainly 94, and certainly not 94, but 95 with Kevin Nash and all that being freaking heavyweight champion. And I don't know why they pretty much had MSG. I think it was at MSG. Power bombed. I think 30 seconds. Him and Bob Backlund and all that. Because I think Bob Backlund won at the Survivor Series against Brett and submission match and all that. It was considered probably one of the worst fucking matches ever. But yeah. Probably a couple of my favorite matches has to be one with Lawler and Brett. Brett, not breathing and all that, but Brett's Kiss My Foot match. I think it was SummerSlam. SummerSlam. Yeah, I think it was SummerSlam or King of the Ring. I don't remember, but yeah, those were really good. What really I remember back in the early days and all that, as before Owen Hart turned heel and everything, that right there was probably awesome. Probably one, at least in my top 10 favorite feuds of all time, brother versus brother and all that. WrestleMania 10 and steel cage match. Oh my god, that was freaking amazing. I think it was a steel cage. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've watched a lot of old wrestling. But yeah. Probably the one feud that I remember when I was younger and all that, really, just really sticks out to me is the model Rick Martel and all that versus Jake the Snake Roberts, and probably one of the worst blindfold matches ever. Like, I don't know why they did a match like that. It was horrible. I think it was at WrestleMania. I could be wrong about that. I think it was at WrestleMania. But it was horrible match. I don't think they ever did another blindfold match ever since then. I could be wrong about that. I don't really remember if they ever did. I don't remember if they ever did another blindfold match. But I did love Rick Martel and all that, and that feud, particularly that feud and all that. Pretty much blinded Jake with his arrogance, pretty much his arrogance, perfume, and everything. Oh my god, I love that. Just oozing charisma and everything, just amazing. Oh my god. Certainly being with Tito Santana prior, I think a couple years prior, a couple months prior, something like that. I think it was Tito Santana, I think. And later Tito became the Matador and all that. But, yeah. And then we, pretty much in 96, the NWO. The NWO was founded. I didn't order a lot of WCW pay-per-views. Like I said, the next pay-per-view I ordered was like 4 years later. Is it? Yeah, 4 years. Is it 4 years? Yeah, 4 years later, 98. WrestleMania and all that. My dad offered me if I'd like to order the pay-per-view and everything. And probably one of my favorite WrestleMania moments from The Undertaker and all that. Awesome match with Kane and everything. I just really loved it. Not Undertaker's best, but at least one of his top 10 favorite, greatest matches that he had at WrestleMania. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, a lot of good matches with Undertaker at WrestleMania, but a lot of really stinkers and all that. Certainly with Kamala, and certainly with Giant Gonzalez and all that. Previously in WCW as what was his name again? I don't remember. I don't remember what he was called in WCW, but he originally wasn't WCW. I think he was I think he was a legit like 7 foot wrestler and all that. And you really see that because Mark Holloway is like 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", and really towers against him and all that. One of the things that Dale talked in the video, Undertaker versus Undertaker and all that, was decent little thing and all that. But probably some other feuds and all that. Probably one of my favorite tag teams growing up and all that has to be the original Hart Foundation with Bret Hart, and Jim Neidhart and all that. Awesome, amazing tag team. Had the Rockers back then, probably the Legion of Doom, Road Warriors and all that. At least in my top 3 favorite tag teams of all time. Elite. No, America's Most Wanted in my top 5 favorite tag teams of all time. I fucking loved the early days of TNA and all that, NWA TNA. I just could be here for hours talking about a lot of wrestling and everything. But yeah, and probably another tag team that I just really, really, truly enjoyed was, oh man, there were so many good tag teams. I can't really think of other tag teams right now, but I know there's a lot of amazing freaking tag teams out there. Nothing really comes to mind right now, but anyways, mostly those. I'm not talking like in the present and all that. I'm talking like the past 20, 30 years ago. Because now, fuck man, there's so many amazing tag teams. If I had to choose one, probably the Briscoes, probably the Usos, probably the New Day and all that. Man, so many amazing tag teams that just gave you awesome moments and all that you just want to revisit. You want to revisit day in and day out. What else really can I talk about? I think like in 96, late 95, 96, I didn't really watch that much wrestling. I think I came back just in the brinks of the Attitude Era and all that. Just remember, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have DVR. Probably DVR existed, but it was really a new technology and all that. And you didn't have fancy cell phones like you have now. And we here in Canada, we were pretty much deprived a lot of amazing shit and all that. I remember, I still to this day, I still have a whole buttload of WWF magazines. The first one I ever got, which is pretty beat up, was I think in 1990. Hogan, with a dumbbell or something like that. I can't remember what month it was. I think it was October, November 1990. But yeah, that was the first official WWF magazine I ever purchased. Like I said, it's really beat up. I was a kid back then, so I really didn't take care of my stuff. Now I'm 39. I still sometimes have a hard time taking care of my stuff, but I try. Anyways, the one thing I wish that I would have had when I was a kid, that I could have watched the NWA, that I could have watched the AWA, that I could have watched the original ECW, Eastern Championship Wrestling, before it became ECW and all that, Extreme Championship Wrestling. It's really a shame that we didn't have a channel. I do think it was exclusively like the New York area and the surrounding area and all that. I think it was mostly local, regional wrestling that it became big. And I'll be honest, I remember on TNN, the Nashville Network. It originally was called the Nashville Network. Now I do think it's called Paramount Television or something like that. It used to be called Spike TV, but I think in 99, 2000, Vince took over TNN. They called it the new TNN. And then the National Network, and then it was turned to Spike TV and all that. That was years before John Cena and Batista and a lot of that amazing talent and all that. Jericho was just coming in from WCW and all that, and just making a name for himself in WWF. And yeah, who would have ever thought that he would have beat Austin and The Rock at the same night, I should say. That's a moment that pretty much you won't see a heck of a lot. I do remember the New Japan match that he had, a couple of the matches that he had and all that. But the big one, which I think was with Kenny Omega, which was amazing, man. Their first match. I do hope at some point that we get like an invasion type thing, like a New Japan and AEW with ROH and all that, or I don't know, ROH invades an little independent company and all that, and we start a feud, and it pretty much goes, let's say 6-7 months and all that. But probably, I'll be honest, probably not the greatest, but at least the top 10 best invasion angles that I can remember is ROH versus CZW. Man, a lot of stuff that they had in that invasion, a lot of it, certainly with Jim Cornette and all that, was like really, really, really honest and truthful and everything, and he hated a lot of people. Certainly, he actually hated the owner of CZW back then, which I can't remember what his name was, but yeah, he hated him. And yeah, I know it's scripted and everything, but with Jim Cornette, you never really know if it's scripted or if he's actually telling the truth and all that in front of the camera. Anyways, what else really can I say? It just really surprises me. 20 years this year. Impact. I would have never imagined that company would have lasted that long. With a lot of the horrible wrestling that they have. That pretty much is a joke of a company that used to be. And even to this day, people back in the day and all that it had a chance against WWF, a little tiny chance, because it was so awesome. TNA, Total Nonstop Action and all that was amazing back then. Let's say like 2004, 2005, before Hogan and Bischoff era and all that took over and everything. And the entire fiasco of Dixie Carter and the BS and everything, the way they lost Spy TV deal, probably one of the dumbest things ever that they did, which it still pisses me off that you had a fucking network and you lied to them, you screwed them over. What the hell do you think was going to happen? To me, honestly, Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, all that, I respect him. But he's probably one of the stingiest, one of the wrestlers that really only cares about Terry Bollea, Hogan, and all that. He cares only for himself. I understand that Hulk Hogan is big and everything, and a big name and such, But why didn't he not put Randy Orton over? To this day, I'll never understand. The guy has so much of an ego that it's mind-boggling. I know he's made a lot of money. I understand that. But he's close to 70. And even Ric Flair, it breaks my heart to see the guy still wrestling in his 70s and all that, instead of staying home, relaxing with his family and everything. It's stuff like that pisses me off, because a lot of guys like Ric Flair didn't save their money. They spent it on women, booze, and luxurious things and such. And look where he is now. And a lot of the divorces that he had. It's just really a shame for the guy. And probably one wrestler, female, that to this day I don't think she's ever gonna recover and all that, is Tessa Blanchard. And it's just really a shame, because she had so much of a potential, but she's hard-headed and does not want to admit to anything that she did and all that, because it's the story of racism, the story of bullying and everything, and just really being a bitch. It's really a shame that when she realizes she's too old to wrestle, it's going to be too late, because she could possibly be one of the greatest, going with Lita, going with Trish Stratus, going to others from other promotions and all that, from New Japan to Mexico to Europe to even the 80s and all that. I'm not really versed too much in women's wrestling, so I can't really say too much. But yeah, it's just really a shame for her, because the talent that she has, instead of just saying I'm sorry and all that, and just shut up and say nothing, it's never going to blow over for her and all that. It's always going to be a stain that she's never going to be able to clean. Instead of going to the person and all that and saying, I'm sorry, I'm the person, I'm the bigger person and all that, and I'm sorry for what I did to everybody here. I'll be a better person from now on. But anyways, just like the Warrior and all that. Again, another guy that had too much of an ego. Hogan, like I said, Hogan has the ego and all that, but he brings in the money. Warrior brought in the money, but he was a jackass. To me, honestly, Hogan, the only thing I can really say about Hogan, probably his run in WCW and the NWO thing, is probably one of my favorite heel turns of all time. It's Hollywood Hulk Hogan and all that. My God, that was at least in my number one, or if not, at least top 3 turns and everything that you really didn't expect. And originally it was supposed to be Sting. So yeah. And back then, Steve Borden, Sting and all that. And talking about Sting, can you imagine a guy, man? He's in his 60s and he's fucking wrestling like he's fucking 20. My God, I'm just mind-boggled. The guy that he is. Sting, how amazing a guy is. To me, honestly, Sting has always been something special. And WWF just really want to destroy the legacy of Sting and just pretty much destroyed the last remaining thing in WCW. And they did. To me, honestly, they did. They completely gave him the finger and everything, and they'll probably say nothing negative about it, but I do know deep inside and all that he felt hurt and everything, that a lot of the BS that happened in that company. Saying what you want about Triple H and all that, he's a good guy, but Paul Levesque, if he doesn't like you, you're fucked. Just like Shawn Michaels, Sean Higginbottom. If he doesn't like you, you're fucked. It's good to have Triple H and everything and his ideas and such, but I don't know. He does have resentments and other people and all that he never really respected and everything, that pretty much never really gave a damn about. I heard that the reason why he never contacted Shamrock and all that is because Triple H had a gripe against him. I don't know what it was, because of the probably the DX era and all that, and something happened in back. I don't know. To this day, it's just really a shame that Ken Shamrock never won the title, and they never did anything with him winning the 1998 King of the Ring. It's just really a shame. But probably one of my favorite matches of him has to be him and Owen Hart and all that, and UFC style cage that they had. I think it's SummerSlam 1998 or 99, something like that. No, not 99. It was, no, never mind, SummerSlam 99, because Owen Hart died that year. But yeah, 98, I think it was SummerSlam. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave right now. 27 minutes, me talking about wrestling. Just really the passion of the business. I don't watch as much wrestling as I did in the past and all that. I do DVR it, but I don't know. I just mostly watch podcasters and everything, and just them telling me what happened that night. But probably at some point I will watch some more Elite Wrestling and such. Anyways, I have the WWE Network and I have the Impact Network. New Japan I got rid of because I'm not really, I hate, number one, I hate the way New Japan is set and everything. I hate the design of the thing and the page and everything. The system, the way they did the way they designed it and all that, I hate it. But yeah, to be honest, I did order a couple of New Japan events and all that, which were pretty awesome. But anyways, enough of me talking. Half an hour of me flapping my gums and all that. Anyways, good day, everybody.